Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, August the 18th, 2026. Sorry, I am just getting back from a late landing in Florida from Las Vegas, and that's why I'm a little slow today, and it's actually good afternoon. But whether it's afternoon, morning, midday, evening, this channel will always support, until further notice, the New York Knicks. And we've been like that since we brought the Knicks onto my channel, 5 years ago, something like that. Which is what I want to talk about today. Before we get started though, I hope you're all safe and healthy. I hope your family is safe and healthy. And I hope that the needs of you and your family, in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health, most importantly, are being met today. Blessings upon those people that work in the area of health and work along with first responders. I say that because first responders are, to me, one of the biggest heroes in the American society. Showing up for mass shootings, showing up for fires, showing up for disasters, and risking self and life and limb to help other human beings. That's a heroic work. Blessings upon them. Blessings also on the people that do work in cleaning up your cities, keeping your garbage clean. I've been to other countries, or multiple countries, and they're not as clean as what you see here in the United States. Now, there's a lot of tough things about the States, but cleanliness in terms of the cities, picking up garbage, that's not one of them. Of course, I'll say more about that, but we'll leave it there. Then, of course, there's those people that hardly get noticed for making deliveries of pizza and food and Uber Eats and people all over the United States. It's a humble work they do. It's an important work they do for all of our convenience. Blessings on them. And then it goes further, because there's, unfortunately, in this perverted society in which we live, children that are victims of child molestation. In other words, there's adults that desire children. And pedophilia, which is really little kids involved with pornographic materials. And there's people that's seeking to rescue them from these evils, because these evils exist. Blessings upon those people and upon those kids. Also, there are those that are out here just working full time trying to rescue these same people from prostitution. Every prostitute wants to be on the street selling her body. There's many ways and reasons in which they find themselves in that unfortunate situation as victims. Those that are helping them, and unfortunately, even worse, children being forced to sell their bodies. And then to get them into those situations, sometimes there's human trafficking. They get tricked and snatched by evil people. And then, unfortunately, they're involved with not only sex trafficking, but sex slavery. They're slaves. In this day and age, you got slaves. Curses upon the people that support them. You support pornography, you're supporting that. You buy it, you're supporting it. You're supporting people that do these things. Curses on you. The profiteers that are trying to make money on it. The perverts that support it. Curses upon you. And blessings on the unfortunate victims of homelessness. Homelessness is now affecting over 700,000 people in the United States. Men, women, children, families, and military veterans who gave their soul and service to their country that cannot have housing. Blessings upon them. For theirs is the kingdom, the least of us. Today I want to discuss, yesterday we talked about the obvious stupidity of talking about trading a rotational talent that's age 25 for a third string center. It's so stupid when you think about that. If you got any kind of basketball IQ at all, you just won a championship now, and you're talking about trading a rotational piece from that championship. Some of your dumbass is talking about because he didn't have a good series against San Antonio. Oh, he was only plus 6.5 because there's two sides of the basketball. If you understand anything Championships, again, are won on the defensive side of the ball. I keep trying to tell you, some of you are just not getting it because you're listening to X too much. And some of you run your damn mouth too much and don't know what you're talking about. Deuce did not have a good series shooting the ball. But defensively, he had an excellent series. Defensively, which won the championship for the Knicks. How you think they come back from 29 down without no defense? Anyway, there's that. But the thing is that's really driving me crazy, aside from Deuce, and again, we know this is Deuce Hive, so we got that down, at least some of us does. There's some knuckleheads that, I don't know, they can be thirsty and need water, and you put the water in front of them, and they still wondering where it is. There's some people like that, unfortunately, in Knicks Nation. Okay, that's a given. But your team just won a championship. It won a championship with the rotation players in their prime. And those that were not in their prime, say Jordan Clarkson, are so good at what they do that they can really, literally change a game coming off the bench, as Jordan Clarkson had done. And you don't need them. This is the thing with some of you knuckleheads. You act like they're supposed to do this every night. You know how hard that is? Jordan Clarkson, I'm using him as an example, he has personally been responsible for coming off the bench and helping the Knicks cause to win at least 3 or 4 or 5 games. If you could get that from a player, you got gold. And let's not even talk about Jose Alvarado, who is so inspired coming from New Orleans back to his home in New York. He has won, including in the championship series. He has been responsible for winning. And you still got dumbasses out here talking about trades because some people just can't help themselves. You know, I think it is that you need something to talk about, right? Some of y'all got content and you trying to get them clicks. So you bring up some dumb crap because you know that dumb crap to crackheads is like catnip. They can't help themselves. My problem is I don't need catnip. I don't like fake. I'm too old. I'm too cynical for that crap right now. Maybe when I was in my 20s, I might have bought into it, you know, back in the Bernard King time or something like that. But I'm way past that now. So the heads I'm talking to is more like level heads, not dumbasses trying to get clicks or buying into clicks. We just won a championship. Champions. You don't know how many people I had come on my channel telling me, you know, I've been waiting for the chip for 40 years. I've been a Knicks fan since the 90s. And then, you know, I'm going to die. We're going to win the championship again. I saw the first one. Well, we just got one. We just got a championship. I know it was surreal. It was surreal to me, too. That last game, when you saw OG throw that ball up in the air and you knew it was over. You saw Rick and JB hug. You saw the look on Patrick Ewing's face. Having struggled for so many years, having been frustrated by the Michael Jordans of the world, the Reggie Millers of the world, the Akeem Olajuwons, having been frustrated. And now you won it all. And somebody tried to cheapen it. Some ass tried to cheapen it. We won the championship. We don't need any changes. You just won a championship. And the thing is, the reason you don't need any changes, and I've said this ad nauseum, some of y'all just don't get it. But let me tell you, you won a championship with your major pieces in their prime. In their prime. And some other major pieces, like Deuce, not even in their prime yet. And some other major pieces like JC, past their prime, but good enough to give you enough to win a chip. But you talking about Alvarado in his prime. You talking about JB in his prime. OG in his prime. Cat in his prime. Hart in his prime. The Roadrunner in his prime. You talking about people in their primes. And then you trade away, or you not trade, but you let walk an injury-prone guy in his prime in Mitchell Robinson, and you replace him with a roughneck who's past his prime, but we don't need him to be in his prime. We need him to be a roughneck with a motor. Andre Drummond, a roughneck with a motor. Do we need another center? Yeah, we could use one. There's no doubt about that. But for y'all dumbasses to be talking about trading a rotation piece and writing articles in the New York Post, I mean, who pays these idiots? Who at the New York Post works in HR and say, I'm going to sign you up to write articles for me? I mean, who does that? Anyway, look here. We're going to get a third string center. It ain't that serious. Listen here. See, some of y'all got caught up because I talked about Cisse, I talked about Diabate, I talked about Dembona, and y'all started thinking, of course, well, this is going to be an all-star. Some of y'all get that mentality because we need somebody that's got to be an all-star, somebody that's going to be a... No! It ain't that serious. It's just an ancillary piece. That's all it is. Ancillary piece. It's like you get a beautiful woman, right? She's got a nice outfit on, right? She got her nails done, hair done right, look classy, okay? And then she got the accessory, the bag. That's all we're talking about, is an accessory. We're not talking about the legs, the thighs. We're not talking about the dress. We're not talking about the haircut. We're talking about an accessory. And some people tripping over a damn accessory. You can have a bag or you don't need a bag. You know, some of you sisters know what I'm talking about. And a man ain't really looking at the bag anyway, is he? So what I'm saying is, why y'all tripping about a damn accessory? Deuce ain't no accessory. Deuce is part of the package. Part of the package. Part of what brings game to the game. You see what I mean? Some of y'all ain't understand that. You can't just replace that. But the third string center is an accessory. We don't want to chip. And you know what's good? Some of y'all still not recognizing. See, some people are reluctantly recognizing. You see what I'm saying? Like this, like this, like this. So Boston won a chip, right? Denver won a chip, right? Okay. OKC won a chip. That's like the last, before us, right? The people that won chips. And you automatically understand that because they just won it. We're not even talking about their team. Because they just won it, you automatically understand that they got Joker, they got Murray, or they got Tatum and Brown. They're automatically considered the next chip also. But somehow with the Knicks, you can see it's reluctant. The Knicks just won a chip. And unlike Boston, we don't need to keep Kristaps Porzingis. We ain't got him. That's how they won. They let Drew Holiday walk. Or Denver. You know, they let their bench do walk. Brown. They had another Brown rookie. Yet that wasn't stopping people from looking at them as favorites. But all of a sudden the Knicks win the chip and you bringing the whole team back and just losing the injury-prone player. All of a sudden now we got to trade a rotation piece for a third-string center. Some of you are out of your goddamn... I mean, come on, man. We the champs. What we're going on right now with my channel, I'm going to tell you right here. What I'm spending my time doing more than I'd like to is arguing narratives. Not actual team stuff, not actual real deal team stuff. Narratives, like handbags, like accessories. What? Come on. We should be rejoicing and hoping our boys are healthy for that training camp. That's why, for me, I've been telling y'all, whoever they pick, let them be in training camp. We're not talking about trade deadline like some of y'all dummies. We're talking about let them be in training camp. Why? Because you see, if you could get as many of your team in training camp and acclimated to your culture and system, which the Knicks now legit culture, legit system, legit chip, and legit chip repeating chances, right? So you want that whole cohesion thing. I don't care who it is. You want them to be that dude. And then listen, one of my favorite subscribers, John Pettit. You know who you are, John. Talking about Jaden Ivey. Let me explain to you why that doesn't work. Because some of y'all get caught up in certain visions that are not right. See, this is the thing. And this is why the Don is a chess player when some of y'all still thinking checkers. But and I'm going to try to break on John. John, I'm going to use your little comment as an example here today. So I'm giving you the shout out. But listen here. Why Jaden Ivey doesn't work. You see, Jalen Brunson's a Christian. Now, I'm not a Christian now, but I'm just telling you. Jalen Brunson's a Christian. Josh Hart's a Christian. Deuce McBride, all glory to God. One of my favorite players every time. All glory to God. He's a Christian. But none of them dudes push their religion so hard that the media gets all into it and it disrupts your locker room. Jaden Ivey would disrupt your locker room. You see a talent like a Jaden Ivey, and he's a tremendous talent now. But his religious pushing pushing out his Cristiano, everybody in the media and stuff, caused a distraction from the locker room. That's why he had to go. See, with Don is not only choosing talent that fits in terms of a player, you got to fit in the locker room. See, the Don's an Ashkenazi. You understand? But you're talking about pro ball here, so you got to fit culture, playing style, coach. You got to fit. Ivy wouldn't fit. He would throw off the locker room. The same reason some of y'all was talking about getting Miles Bridges after getting convicted, beating up his wife or a girl, whatever. You don't want that in your locker room. I don't care how good they are. Doesn't fit. Think about it like this. Does McCall fit? Yes. Culture, game, coach. He fits. OG, yes. Josh Hart, yes. And Josh Hart is a special case because he don't like to practice, but coaches in him, he has a personality that blends. And not only that, Josh Hart and McCall are the Villanova crew. Coaches know that, Mr. Collaborator. Brown knows that. So that's what we're talking about. Ivy wouldn't fit. He's too religiously fanatical for the locker room. You have to understand that. See? So when you think of players, and some of y'all, I'm just saying, not John, but just saying some of y'all just have difficulty thinking in those dimensions. You just look at a player and you saw him get 20 rebounds in a G League game, Moses Brown, and you demand we get him. Doesn't fit. Does the guy fit in the locker room? Does the guy fit with the squad? Does the guy fit with the coach? You see, that's what made a guy like Clarkson and Alvarado. It wasn't just their game. They were willing to blend in the culture. Okay, willing to blend in the culture, willing to fit with the coach, willing to do what it takes to win, which is fit in the culture. And then their game fits too, see? So when you're talking about names, don't just throw out some dumb-ass people because you saw a little video on YouTube and think he fits and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. They got to fit on 3 dimensions. 3 dimensions. That's what chess is like. Anywho, we soon going to be ending this narrative BS, at least this section of it, because we getting ready to go into training camp in about a month. Got the schedule out. Myself, I'm looking to go to at least 2 games this year. And neither of them is an Orlando game, because the Orlando, I looked at the schedule, they don't come to like the end of the year. I'm going to go and see my daughter and me going to go to a game that's going to be like in March. And then I'm hoping me and my son and one of my grandson's going to be in college, but November 19th we play in Minnesota. I can't say against Juju and them no more because they're in Brooklyn, but against Dante and them. So we're going to Minnesota, hopefully. So those are the 2 games I definitely want to go to. Other than that, we'll have to play it by ear. But those are the 2 games I wanted to go to. I was thinking of a Brooklyn game in Brooklyn, and that might fit. It's in February, but, I ain't got deep pockets like that, like some of these people that's getting paid by the post to put out toilet paper. So I can't go to all those games. But anyway. Y'all enjoy your games, enjoy your team. We don't need you thinking you can improve it with some dumbass trade. We good. Sure.